on? It's me, Arte, aka Art, and
Litton.
we are back with another video for y'all. Today we're going to take a quick look into the psychology of trading crypto and the market cycles, which do influence the trading emotions of people. So what we have today open on the screen is Wall Street's cheat sheet for the psychology of a market cycle. And as you can see, it shows you the beginning here, where people are in disbelief because they're at the end of a bear market where the prices have gone down dramatically, stayed down. You see dips here and there. As you know, crypto is very volatile, so you'll see these end of the bear markets where you'll have these wicks coming to the downside of your candle. And then people are, that's where people have lost all hope and they don't believe anything's going to happen bullishly, When we get to that stage, it comes up into a hopeful stage where, we're recovering out of the bear market. And then, people are accumulating crypto and people become very optimistic when these big green candles start to form. People get more belief in the crypto, so they start buying in these green zones where the price has already gone up tremendously. And then they're thrilled that they see more profits coming and a big pump towards the end of the cycle. And then all the whales and the big investors and the smart money start dumping and taking all their profits out, which means the value of the prices start to go down. People are still there sitting in a complacent state because I'm still up from where I bought in, or, there's a chance we'll go higher. That's when they start to dump more and take more profits as far as the whales and the smart money people, bringing you down into a level of anxiety because now you're at a point of loss. Your account is down. We both have been there. We've been through the last bull and bear cycle. And then you get down to denial. Well, now you've lost so much money. You're just like, man, I don't believe in crypto anymore. Then you start selling your bags at a loss because you're panicking that I could lose everything. And then it goes down to capitulation and anger, where a lot of us have been, if you're new to this and you're not expecting these cycles emotionally, this will take you on a literal roller coaster ride of emotions. So we wanted to go over this. We'll leave the link in the description below so you can take a look at this yourself. And do you have anything to add to this as far as like what you see, how that affects people's psychology and trading?
When I look at that, I can just see myself. I can almost see my face going through all these emotions because
Right.
I've been through those emotions.
Same.
That first bull run that we were in together.
Mm-hmm.
And this is basically what people use to predict the future and see how they're going to make their money. And once you get out of this kind of victim mindset where you have other people in control of your emotions, that's when you can start to take control of your actions and actually make good decisions.
Right. Exactly. I agree 100%. And as you go through these cycles, if you understand that this is what's going to happen, you can be prepared, to in these stages down here where people are in a mode of greed and fear, which we're going to show you on the next screen here. This is the fear and greed index, and we'll leave a link below for this as well. So when you're in this green zone, people are in a greedy state, which is where we're at right now. People are buying and they're FOMOing in. They have a fear of missing out on the pumps and the gains that other people they see making. So that's where we're at now, and this is not necessarily the best place to buy and accumulate. The best place is over here where people are in extreme fear and they're selling their bags, which when we look at that other chart, that's over here where they're getting panicking and they're scared and they're angry and they're selling all the way to where you're just getting a huge discount on the price of the crypto you're buying until the next bull run and rally starts. So you want to be getting in these zones where everybody is being, in a fearful, doubtful space. That's where you bag up and stack up your accounts, so that when the bull runs take place on the 4-year cycle, you're already ready to just allow your profits to rise and start planning on taking profits.
And I think the way that Art and I have really disavowed ourselves of the reactionary trading is to have high conviction in the projects that we are investing in. Once you have high conviction that something is going to be good for the world at large and exist into next year and beyond, that's when you can exit the mindset of the people that don't know anything, that are in the space just for a quick buck, and they don't know what they're doing. And I feel like the conviction in the projects and the things that you're involving yourself in is crucial.
Definitely. Because the conviction that that you have will come from your research and your time in the market. I started in 2019. Litton started shortly after that, and we have been through a bull market, bear market, and now we're seeing the rally happening for this new bull run that's beginning, and we'll be going into the Bitcoin halving, which we talked about earlier videos. And that's an exciting moment, which leads us to the stock to flow model here that we have pulled up. It shows you the 4-year cycles of Bitcoin, where you have a bull run into the bear market and then another bull run into a bear market. And you can see this happens at a 4-year period of time. And we're coming up into the next halving, which is going to be in April 20th of 2024. So you have a lot to look forward to. You're still early in the game if you're here now and starting to accumulate some Bitcoin and some altcoins. But this chart, which we'll leave a link to, also shows you where Bitcoin has gone and how it's led the market and the rallying of each bull run. It also shows you, this last bull run we had not seen the full upside potential that we normally do because of COVID and some other things that happened that you would find in your, fundamental research when you're doing fundamental analysis. So yeah, definitely pull this chart up anytime. You can kind of see the red zones show you where we're coming out of the bear market up into the orange and yellow zones, where you would usually see some big push up to the green. And then it comes back down into a bear market where you'd want to be buying all your crypto and waiting for that next big bull run to come.
But speaking of, that is where it would be ideal to buy your stuff. But of course, the next best time to buy it is right now. Like,
Right.
We're not too late, and that's something that we really want to convey. And that's why we're even here. If it was too late, we wouldn't be telling you this.
Right. We're trying to add value, and you're at a great point of value where it's important to observe and get involved in the crypto space because you're at the beginning of a bull run and you're still months and months away from a Bitcoin halving, which every 4-year cycle has shown to prove a big push to the upside. So yeah, those are a few tools you can use to look at just to get a general feel of the market sentiment and people's emotions, how they're trading. That way you can take the emotions out of what you're doing and just know, oh, things are dipping because everyone's scared right now. Buy your Bitcoin at a discount, and hold it and get ready for these other big moves. So looking at some of that sentiment and people's emotions, we wanted to show you a chart here. Mm-hmm. Litton brought up the point that on October 16th, we recently had some fake news come out. And what was that fake news about?
So the current affairs as it relates to Bitcoin, what we're all sitting on tenterhooks for is we're waiting for a spot ETF to be approved. What that means is an exchange traded fund. You can trade it like a stock, but what you're really doing is you're buying into a Bitcoin pool. And so BlackRock and like 8 other companies have applications out. And right now we just have a futures ETF. It's not buying spot ETF. It's not buying actual Bitcoin. It's just, paper trading. But once the ETF comes out where we're actually able to buy hard Bitcoin on the stock exchange, that's when a bunch of money is going to flood into it, and therefore the price is going to go up, and therefore people are looking for that to happen so that they can make money. And so what happened is that multiple news sources reported false information about the SEC approving these spot ETF applications. And so, because people are waiting for the price to go up, people actually bought into it and they believed the news. And so they bought more Bitcoin because they thought the price was going to go up.
The FOMO is real.
The FOMO is real. They were in fear of missing out. And what's ironic is that fear of missing out is greedy, not fearful.
Right.
And so people bought in fake news. It actually wasn't approved, but people bought it anyway. And so it went from $27,000 to $30,000, which is just a pretty substantial move in a single day.
Especially if you've been waiting through a whole bear market. Any moves up like that are going to be exciting.
Yeah. And so that's interesting because a lot of people just use like knuckle bones of iguanas and shit to predict the Bitcoin price future. But things like that, things in the real world, push movements in the chart, and then movements in the chart make patterns that are recognizable so that you can see what's going to come in the future.
Exactly. And that's why we're going to pull up a Bitcoin chart right now and go over some of those ideas that happened since that fake news came out. As you look at the chart here, this is Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart. If you come back here, you can see this candle that happened on the date of the fake news coming out that an ETF was approved. So this is showing you how the emotions of people play into some of the moves that crypto makes. And you can see that candle is, it's got a body here and it has a huge wick to the upside, because on that day, a bunch of people got in on some day trading and a lot of people were spot buying Bitcoin. And I was on the fake news that came out based on that, how it influenced their emotions. So to avoid things like this, you just want to keep DCAing, dollar cost averaging. On this pump, you could have bought as it came back down. Wick, when the wick came back down, you could have been accumulating through any of these points here. However, we just wanted to show you that information caused a big move in the market, which eventually led to more accumulation and more people assuming the rumors of an ETF being approved soon, even though that was a lie and it was fake news. The ETFs will be approved, and the speculation is that it could be before the end of 2023, which would be great, right, for Bitcoin. So get your Bitcoin now, as soon as you can, before some of these other decisions are actually finalized.
Now, I don't know shit about technical analysis. I'll be upfront about that. But you'll see that green band in the middle of the screen, and it has a lower bound. And so basically you can see that blue wick hit the bottom of that trading region, and then you can see the accumulation happened, and then it kind of like ranged at that bottom of that trading range. And so what I see there, what that tells me, is that the fake news dropped and it went from 27 to 30,000. And so what that told the traders is that, when the news drops, the price is going to go to at least 30,000. So any price beneath 30,000, I'm safe to buy at. And it kind of plays out in the chart. So a lot of people were thinking the same thing. They saw that it went from 27,000 to 30,000 to like 28,000, and they get like, I have a couple days left to buy it before I don't know what the price is going to be anymore.
Right.
And so that's a little bit of technical analysis and how I understand it.
Absolutely. And yeah, what I have drawn on here, we'll go over in other videos. These green bars going across are resistance and support zones going back further in the chart. So you can see that a lot of times it does go right to the target. Our most recent target breaking out of this pattern here, which is called an ascending triangle. So you'll see the price shoot up, see some resistance here, and it'll make a little pattern that looks like a triangle is going to be formed, and then it will have a breakout either to the upside or the downside. And some of these breakouts can be measured. The last breakout that we saw, when I was measuring through the TA, you can see it came up to this box that I drew as the next point of resistance around 38K. So you can, when you look at what we're talking about with the fear and greed index and all the other indicators and just some of this information you can look at, you can see the psychology of people playing into the market. You can see when the fake news came out, it caused a pump and a big pullback right away. You can see this in some other cryptos we'll go over too, like XRP and Solana. And you'll see where the news came in and people's emotions and reaction caused the trades to go in a certain way. As you can see in this most recent pump, we had a breakout to the upside. So now we're looking at, potentially having another big move up into this resistance zone before we can continue going further. But I wanted to show you all this real quick. Same pattern, just on the 4-hour, going from the daily. When you see a breakout in crypto, a lot of times you'll be in this pattern here where there's resistance, support, resistance, and it'll keep testing these zones. Then when it breaks out of one, you'll see, most people think it's just going to shoot out the other side. My bad. Kind of like you see this ascending triangle, like it's just going to be a straight line up. But in reality, what you'll see is when a breakout happens, the price will come out of the pattern and then come back and retest the top where there was resistance as support before it moves on and starts really shooting up. And a lot of people get faked out or shaken out of their position because of these moves. And you want to be aware of that, because even if it breaks to the downside, you could have a fake out where it breaks out of the pattern and then it comes right back up to it and then shoots off. So we'll teach you more about the technicals of where to enter your positions when you're trading and trying to get the optimal buying points. But when you're dollar cost averaging anytime you see a big dip, you want to be accumulating. If you see something like this pullback, you can accumulate, and wait till things kind of go, start to go bullish, and just keep buying at the cheaper prices that you can as it's going up. So that's pretty much the basics we wanted to show you on just some of the patterns. One of the ascending triangle that you can see happening currently with Bitcoin, how the breakouts work and how there's fake outs to look out for. And just, watching your own internal monitoring system of your own emotions, your own feelings, your own thoughts, and don't let the emotions make the decisions when you're clicking buy or sell. You want to utilize the emotions that you see, consider how humanity is going to respond to the news or the information that they're receiving, and then make your decisions, based on where you want to be positioned with all that in mind.
Yeah. I think it's just a mind-boggling thing to engage in something as herd mentality heavy as trading in markets. And you don't need to just master yourself. You need to be familiar with the average. You need to understand what the other person is doing and when they're going to do it. And that seems like it's like the level 2 kung fu, you know what I'm saying?
Right, and that comes from knowing yourself too, because knowing what we've been through in crypto, I understand my thoughts and where I was like, oh, okay, I made that decision because greed started to settle in, or fear that I'd lose this or that was happening. And now I'm catching myself when I feel certain ways to think, oh, okay, I'm feeling fearful, so other people probably are too. This is a better time to buy instead of just being fearful, or being optimistic or greedy, like, wow, my crypto's blowing up, it's going big. I'm like, okay, well, now I need to possibly start looking for points of taking profits, or I need to do my technical analysis and look for potential points of a retracement where the price is going to drop so I can accumulate more, because I have targets and specific goals for how much I want to have of each crypto that I'm currently invested in. And I have, obviously other cryptos I'm looking at and researching to invest in later as well. But yeah, that's great information. I think if you guys look at the market cycles, understand the emotions you're dealing with and the world and how everyone's going to react and respond, and you can, react in an intelligent way without the emotions swaying your decisions, you're going to be far more successful and profitable than the majority of people that are trading or investing in any asset, period.
Hell yeah, you killed it, Art.
Hey, much love. Gotta get the word out.
Thanks for watching.
Appreciate y'all. Much love. Stay up. Get those bags.